What's going on, you guys? Litmantuck is here with another book review. Today, I want to talk about the Ascend Online series. I'm just finishing up. I can't wait for the next one. But oh my God, I just finished book 3 and it is long. It's like 30 something an hour. So I basically got 3 books for 1 credit. But I want to talk about the whole series. So I'm going to go ahead and start at series 1. The first book is named Ascend Online. So Lyrian Wrestler, the main character of the book, they get right into it. They don't really mess around in the real world too much. They get right into the game. Of course, in these type of games, you can feel pain. It's basically a full immersion, okay? So he gets into the book. He is put in the wrong place. He's not in the beginner level. The start of the book, boom, he gets stabbed by a goblin and he's fighting. He's fighting his butt off. He goes into a village. He basically saves the village from a goblin attack, and he starts progressing from there. So this book, I mean, there's so much into it, man. Lots of, if you like stats, if you want to feel like you are actually playing a game, this is a great series for you. Now, the thing is, at my age, I'm 40 right now, so it's word, kiddos, I don't have a lot of time for gaming. And so I pretty much live vicariously through these books as far as my gaming when I'm driving around, or right now I'm in the garage. I'm getting my workout on right now, you know what I'm saying, with my heavy weights. So the stats are awesome. It makes me feel like I'm actually in the game. The main character, Lyrian Wrestler, and he has, I'm not going to go through all the names, but he has an awesome companion. He has a nice little squad with him, and they go through book 1. So the protagonist, or let's see, the antagonist, bad guy, is Carver. And Carver is a very dark character. He will do whatever he has to do to win. And so one thing on the book that they were really having a problem with is he's trying to gain slaves. He actually has slaves in the game. All right, so if he enslaves enough people, he gets to this next level, like the king level or whatever, and he comes across the village that the main character is in, and he's just trying to take it over. Lyrian defends himself, and they are able to record everything, and basically you make money by streaming because there's so many. It's like the millennials are old, but they're not dying just yet, and so there's not that many jobs available. And so you play the game, you stream, you can make millions of dollars. That's basically what the main character is trying to do, but he's trying to do it in just a grimy way. So moving on to book 1.5, it's called Hell to Pay. And it doesn't even talk about, it really doesn't even talk about the characters in the first book, but it is well worth the money, and it starts from somewhere else and it draws into it. So it's basically in the city, and the main character is Lazarus. And he starts out, he's on a bed, he was unconscious, he doesn't have his memory, and he has this big sigil in his chest. And the book starts out in this action pack. So Lazarus, he basically started like with a hard level. So he started off like in kind of a rogue guild, and it is crazy. Like, it's straight up action from the very beginning. It doesn't really talk about, oh, I'm going to get into the game, I'm going to start the game. He starts off on a bed with a sigil in his chest, and he has to basically kill people to break free. And I didn't really spoil the book because that's just how it starts off. And I'm going to leave it right there, and it's action-packed, and it is absolutely crazy. But he's basically a rogue. I believe he's half elf and half giant. And I was like, that's an interesting mix. But he has, he's an interesting character. It's not your typical character that you come out with in a book. He's just a straight beast. That sigil gives him a special rage, and like, man, get that one. Make sure, don't skip. Don't go from book 1 to book 2. Get book 1.5 because it really takes it and it draws it in. So going on to book 2, Legacy of the Fallen, they're trying to rebuild the city, and it's action packed, and it's about 24 hours. And I made a mistake in book 1. It's not Carver. That's not the main bad guy or antagonist, protagonist. I get those two confused. The main bad guy is Graves. Carver is actually is under Graves. Carver is an orc, and he's a real sick and twisted individual that they have to deal with in book 2. It's 24 hours. So once again, you get a lot of bang for your book, or lots of bang for your credit. I want to say bang for your buck, but it's bang for your credit. 24 hours. So that's just like getting 3 books right there. And then going on to the final book, book 3, Glory to the Brave. It is straight up massive. It's over 30 hours. So that's like having 3 or 4 books. It's huge. And so he has to deal with graves again, but he has to deal with more orcs. And so I'm not even gonna spoil it for you. And for me personally, it was so massive that I'm probably gonna have to go back and re-listen to the book, because it is filled with so many stats, so much progression. And the funny part is, in this book, he basically makes it to about level. I don't want to spoil it. So if you don't want me to spoil the levels, you can turn it off right now. But he basically makes it to about, he gets to about level 30. And so you would think all these hours, all the action, and he's only on level 30. So normally on a book, man, book 1, they're like on level like 100. And it's like, dude, how did he get that far? But it is literally a grind to get through these levels. And so he's getting all these new powers, these new stats, and it takes you for an adventure. Like I said, I'm gonna read it over, or basically listen to it over. And Luke Daniels is the narrator. So that's one of my favorite narrators. He actually got me into Gamelit. I followed some of his other books. What is it called? Oh my goodness, I can't remember it right now. Off to Be a Wizard. Off to Be a Wizard is not a game lit book, but it's more of a fantasy. And I read that book and I just started following him around. And then it led me to this book. It led me to this series right here. And so big shout out to Luke Daniels, and big shout out to the other Luke. I have a hard time saying his name. Let me think about it real quick. Luke Chmilenko. I'm going to keep it real with you. I had to go back to the book and I had to listen to the beginning and get the name. But it's not something that I say every day. I think it's an awesome last name, but it's not something I say every day, so I have to go back. But anyway, man, that's the end of my review. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. Hey, if you haven't checked out the series, I'm telling you, it is a treat. I will say, like, some people are turned off whenever they give lots of stats and it's lots of description to the fight scenes. But if you like that, like I do, it will be an amazing treat for you. And like I said, man, every credit, you're getting crazy bang for your buck. I mean, they really put a lot into each. He really put a lot into each book. So if you do Audible and you get a credit, it's the same price and you get way more book for it. Okay. So, man, splurge on it or binge on it or whatever you want to call it, and let me know how you liked it. If you've already read the series and you're just finishing out like me and you just wanted to check it out, make sure you drop a comment and let's converse. Let's talk about the different things. It's something that I know it's something that I miss, because the book is massive. These are one of those things where it's great because it's great writing, lots of fight scenes, great narrator. It's something where you can actually reread the book. If you're a dabbler like myself and you like to reread, you get that much more value out of it. But anyway, that's all I got. Litmantuck, and I'm out.